So many B2B health tech brands are missing out on demo bookings because they're using the same generic claims as their competitors. After helping dozens of health tech brands create differentiated messaging for their website, we've seen results like tripling demo bookings using the exact strategies I'm about to share with you. So, in this video, I'm going to show you what the strategies are, how you can implement them for your website, and a live edit of a real health tech website. So let's have a look at what a new website visitor sees and understands when they get on this page. First thing, when we land on Innovasor's homepage, we see this headline, the AI Cloud for Autonomous Healthcare. Right now, there's a lot going on up here. This headline sits half on top of this orange box. Underneath, we have images which are trying to show how the product works, but they're pretty small. And then we have this random text over here on the left, and then the CTA is all the way over here on the right. Your headline is what decides if someone stays or leaves your site in seconds. So it needs to be the core message. And right now, there's all these other things that are taking the focus away from the headline. My eyes don't really know where to go. Also, the headline itself is just focusing on the AI. So they're talking about their tech instead of the outcome or a problem that they solve. You don't want to lead with that, but rather explain later on how the AI makes your customer's life and job easier. Because remember, your buyer isn't coming to your website looking for another AI-powered tool. They're there because their healthcare organization is extremely overburdened and overworked, and they need solutions that free up staff capacities. So just give me a minute and I'm going to see what I can do with this. So after looking more into what Innovasor does, it looks like the main problem they solve is freeing healthcare staff from administrative work. So I changed the headline to, "You didn't get into healthcare because you love the admin." Starting the headline with the word "you" is much more engaging and grabs your reader's attention because you're speaking directly to them instead of just introducing your product. Here, we're talking directly about the problem that customers are dealing with, and then we introduce Innovasor as the solution to that later. Now, they're not just trying to sell them on their AI cloud from the start, but instead positioning it as the solution to the burden of admin work. So strategy number one is to lead with the main outcome or problem. Here's how you can apply this to your website. Make sure nothing is distracting from the headline. On your homepage, replace product and feature-focused headlines with headlines that communicate the number one problem you solve or value you provide. Use "you" in headlines and body copy to engage your reader. All right, so going down the page a bit, we see this section where they're showing different customer testimonials and results. And they introduce their social proof section with the heading, "We're customer outcome obsessed." So first of all, this is focusing on the brand values instead of the customers. And any company in the world can say that they're customer outcome obsessed. Also, studies show that over 80% of people are just skimming quickly through your website and just read headlines. So when people come across a big proof section like this with lots of videos, testimonials, logos, and results, they're not going to actually take the time to read all of this. It's the headline that's really grabbing their attention. But this headline doesn't really say anything and just feels a bit like marketing fluff. The best way to introduce social proof is actually to use some social proof in the headline. There are two ways Innovasor could do this. One, use a customer quote. Here, I pulled a strong quote directly from their testimonials and put it in the headline. "Seeking a care management solution? Stop looking." Their words, not ours. Option two, lead with a concrete result. In this example, I used an impressive result users got from their product. $2.2 million uncovered through automated coding protocols, and more reasons customers love Innovasor. Both of these examples focus on the most important thing your customer actually cares about and wants to achieve. So for the people who are just skimming quickly through your site, you'll make sure that they at least see that. Strategy number two is to use your best proof as the headline for your proof section. Here's how you can do it on your website. Gather proof points from testimonials and case studies. Pick the single strongest proof, whether that's an outcome or a quote. Use that proof as the headline when introducing social proof. Don't say generic things like what clients say or customer outcomes. So going to one of their solutions pages, this is the page for providers. And if we scroll down to the bottom, we see this section. They end the page saying to meet with the provider team and have a CTA to request a demo, but they don't give visitors a reason why they should do that. If you're the buyer, you have to justify the time that you'll spend on the demo. And no one likes getting sold to. How often have you been to websites where you think, looks interesting, but maybe later? which actually turns into never. People need this little push to get them over the edge and actually commit to spending their time on the demo. So, right now, my husband and I are in Oaxaca, Mexico, and we went to this food market this morning for breakfast with a bunch of different restaurants. And even though we were ready to sit down somewhere, we still had this moment of indecision that was holding us back from committing to one of the options. But then we saw a waiter bring a meal out of the kitchen that looked really good. That gave us the push we needed to get over the edge and commit to one restaurant. So you can think of the bottom of your page as that final little push that gets your buyers to take the next step. But this page just says meet with our team, which doesn't give buyers the push they need to actually commit to the demo. So here's how I changed it. I changed the headline to focus on the value the customer gets and backed it up with social proof with a testimonial from this page. Showing customer wins helps your visitors get out of this feeling of indecision so they actually take that next step and book a demo. So strategy 3 is to give visitors a final push at the end of your page to take the next step. So here's how you can use the bottom section to get more demos. Use an impressive customer result as the headline. Remind them of the value they get and back it up with social proof. But here's the thing. Right now, buyer behavior in health tech is changing like never before. And if you don't adapt to these changes, it might not matter because you could be out of business in less than a year. So watch this video next where I show you exactly what these changes are and how you can use them to actually make it on the shortlist and close more deals.